We were once deeply connected to our ancestors. We even called on them for spiritual protection. They gave us guidance and medicine, and the colonizer became threatened by this. And so they indoctrinated us to fear the ancestral realm. And now here we are. The ancestors are calling us home. Saludos, I'm Doctora Rocio. I'm a seer, a medicine woman, and a counseling psychology PhD. If you've been curious about seeking ancestral guidance, this video is for you. The first teaching is that the colonizer intentionally taught us to be afraid of the ancestral realm because they knew how powerful it was. And I want to draw your attention to this fear and this indoctrination of being fearful of not just the spirits, but our ancestors, because this is a sign to us that there is great wisdom and guidance and medicine here. The truth is that our ancestors do hold keys to the way that we are to live. Our ancestors have acquired wisdom through living both in the human and now spiritual realm. And so it is important for us to receive their guidance, to be open to their guidance, because they have so much knowledge to share with us. They also can share spiritual protection if we are open to it. When we lean on ancestral guidance and ancestral wisdom, we are better equipped to decolonize. We now value our traditional ways instead of colonial, capitalist, patriarchal ways. We begin to shift our perspective. We begin to shift our values back to what is important, the traditional ways, the ways that we are meant to live in harmony with the world. And so this is why at this time in our humanity, where there is so much destruction, where there are genocides, where there is climate change, where we are on the brink of extinction, that we need to be open and seek out ancestral guidance to be able to survive and also birth a new paradigm. If you've benefited from what I've shared today, I want to invite you to join my mailing list in the link in description, where you will receive a guided meditation, a guided journal workbook, and weekly messages to support you on your decolonial and spiritual journey. The second teaching is that ancestral wisdom is valid knowledge. It is valid intelligence. In colonial culture, we have been taught to value empirical research, to value facts and logic and rational linear ways of acquiring knowledge. And we have been taught intentionally by the colonizer to devalue knowledge and wisdom from the spiritual and ancestral realm. Again, this is intentional because the colonizer can manipulate data and knowledge when it is derived from humans. Spiritual knowledge, ancestral knowledge, cannot be manipulated. We are more powerful when we value and also rely on spiritual guidance and ancestral guidance. This is divine, direct intelligence from the spiritual realms. This makes us less likely to be manipulated by the colonizer. And this is why we are taught to be afraid. This is why we're taught to devalue or make it seem like it's not really knowledge or wisdom. This is also why we're unsure sometimes of receiving wisdom from the ancestors, where we maybe question receiving wisdom from the spiritual realms. It is intentional. The colonizer wants you to devalue it. The colonizer wants you to doubt it, because then they're more likely to control you. And so here in this moment, I want to invite you to reclaiming spiritual wisdom and ancestral wisdom as valid knowledge, as valid guidance, and as valid intelligence, as maybe even the highest forms of intelligence that exist. These are our original ways of receiving knowledge through the spirits, through the ancestors, through creation. And so I hope that here you can begin to reclaim. The third teaching is that our ancestors can also provide us with spiritual protection. Because they have lived as humans and also in the spiritual realm, they can provide us with spiritual protection. They can call upon the lineage and the medicine and wisdom of the lineage to protect you, to protect your journey, to protect your path. And in these very difficult and intense times, it is important for us to call upon their protection, to call upon their wisdom, to call upon their guidance, so that we are not so vulnerable to spiritual warfare. When we call upon spiritual protection from the ancestors, it is also important to remember that we want to call upon the healed ancestors, those ancestors who are elevated, who lived in a good way. That is the wisdom and the protection that we need for these times. Also, I want to invite you to call upon the ancient ancestors, the ancient matriarchs in particular, because they have wisdom from pre-colonial times. They remember what it's like to live in harmony and balance. They have medicine and wisdom that has not been diluted by the colonial capitalist patriarchy. And so having their ancient wisdom, their ancient protection is especially needed now. The last thing I want to share with you is that often when I work with people, they feel unworthy of receiving wisdom from their ancestors. They feel unworthy of receiving protection from their ancestors. And I want to remind you in this moment that you are worthy, that you are your ancestors' prayers, that they already know you. You are their prayers embodied, and they are already seeking you. That is why you feel called to them. And so it is no surprise to them that you are asking for their guidance, that you are asking for their protection. And so now what is just left is for you to be open, to call it in, to value it, to receive it, to begin to be in relationship with your ancestors, giving offerings to them and being in deep conversation with them, asking them to show you the way. Just as we call upon protection and guidance from the benevolent spirits, from our Creator and Great Mother, our ancestors too are here to guide us and to protect us. And you, as the current face of your lineage, as their literal blood and bones, are absolutely worthy of it. It is my hope that from today's video, you can strengthen your ancestral connection and also be more open to receiving their guidance so that together we can bring forth the prophecies of a better world.